Cool stuff. You'd love it.
Well, I'm fascinated by wolves. I think wolves, to me, are probably the most interesting animal in the wild.
Canids, man. Wild dogs of all kind are unbelievable. They're so at the top of their respective food chain.
Yeah, we have a lot of coyotes around here, and basically they're little wolves. The little sneaky wolves. But real wolves, like wolves in Yellowstone and wolves in the Northwest area of the United States, they have got to be some of the most majestic animals.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They operate together. Always as these packs. So there's some sort of weird kind of communication
and what's amazing is like the social dynamic, like within the pack, the hierarchy, and then on a hunt, like you go left, I go right, but without any verbal communication.
Right.
And then coming together and making a kill. I mean, it's mind-blowing stuff. You talk about not understanding wildlife. We don't understand how they do that.
Right. We don't understand what kind of communication's going on. Do you think there's some sort of like telepathic, or is it just facial and recognizing cues and patterns that they've established before? If they see an animal, they know to flank it.
I definitely believe it's that. Like, I definitely believe there is an intrinsic understanding of you go left, I go right. Facial recognition. Your expression tells me to do something. You're dominant. I'm passive. Learning that way. But I also think there's something more than that. Whether it's telepathic, whether it's a low frequency sound that is not audible to us, I have no idea. But I do think it's more than just visual cues.
That's where apparently the myth of the werewolf comes from, is that wolves are so smart, they think that a wolf and a person were like combined together.
I don't believe that per se, but I can see how that came up. You know what I mean? It's totally, they're so smart. African wild dogs are the same. Like they hunt in these huge packs. They go over these massive areas, and then they'll push a single animal into one area to make the kill. And they're not big animals. They're, again, like a coyote size. And they'll take down, a kudu or some huge antelope. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, African wild dogs are so cool looking too, with those black spots and the yellow and all the
stunning.
They look angry. They're like freaky looking,
I think they're my favorite of the like, you love wolves, I love African wild dogs. I just think they're so beautiful and majestic and unusual, and they're just such a cool animal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all of them come from the United States. I think all of them originally came from North America. Like, I think
canids?
All canids came from North America. I think that's Coyote America, the gentleman who's been on the podcast before. What is his name? Is escaping me right now. But he wrote about it. About all the various jackals.
Dan Flores.
Dan Flores. That's it. That is a fascinating book.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down. I'd love to read it.
Great. And I did a podcast with him years ago. That's excellent too. And he has all sorts of crazy insight as to Native American, North American animals that went somewhere else, like horses. Like, horses were native to North America, but they weren't here when the European settlers came. They went extinct. But they had been taken. They were other places. Like, apparently, wild horses from Europe all originated from North America
and were taken over and then
somehow
brought back.
Or another.
Wow.
From whatever, and then went extinct here, and then were reintroduced with the European settlers.
That's interesting.
Crazy, yeah.
And that's the thing, like, with what I do looking for extinct animals or proof that they're still out there, is like, there are so many stories like that. I didn't know that one in specific. America's very well covered with eyeballs, but what's to say there isn't some remnant small population somewhere in the middle of nowhere that nobody has found these horses that have been untouched by human beings for millennia.
Right.
And that's what I do. That's what drives me, right? Find this pocket, find this animal that's been hiding out undetected for thousands of years.